Good afternoon, Chairman Feldman, Vice Chairman Kagan, and members of the Education, Energy, and Environmental Committee. I am here not just to testify, but to show my unwavering support of Senate Bill 468, which addresses the start time for public, middle, high, and chartered schools. And before I go any further, I must thank Delegate April Miller for the work that she has put into this document that you all have before you. She has done an impeccable job. And when people do things that are wonderful, we need to have enough sense to say thank you. And I want her to know that we deeply and profoundly appreciate every single thing that she has done in the way of convincing us, convincing you all, because I am thoroughly convinced that this piece of legislation is absolutely necessary. As many of you know, I am an educator and proud of it. I've spent over 40 years of my life in the school system. And let me tell you, I want to tell you just a little bit about these youngsters that we're talking about this afternoon. They get up in the dark, and they go home in the dark. But here's the thing that you all need to know. If you're wondering why our children are not doing as well as they could, it's because when they get up early in the morning, first of all, they're sleepy. And they don't wake up until about 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. And then after 10 or 11 o'clock, that's when school begins for them. I want you all to know that I have seen it, and I can tell you without fail or without question, that's exactly what happens with our children, and that is why our children are not doing as well as we would like for them to do. It's because they are tired the first couple of hours in the morning, and they don't get started. Well, they start in school around 11 o'clock, but then they wreak havoc for a couple of hours, and then they go home in the dark. As a long-term legislator, former principal, former educator, I can honestly, and I've taught every grade except for kindergarten. I've served in just about every capacity you can imagine. You name it, I've done it. I can honestly testify that I have witnessed firsthand the profound impact of early school start times on students' overall well-being and academic performance. Senate Bill 468 is a critical piece of legislation that aims to improve the health and academic success of our students by mandating later start times for schools beginning in 27-28 school year. This bill requires all public middle schools to start no earlier than 8 o'clock a.m. and all public high schools to start no later than 8:30. Now, most of you in this room can remember that's the time that you started. Truth be told, that's the time that most of you started around 9 o'clock, if the truth be told. Research has consistently shown that later start times align better when the natural sleep patterns of adolescents, leading to improved mental and physical health, better academic performances, and reduced absenteeism. And that's nothing but the truth. In my experience, I have seen how chronic sleep deprivation can negatively impact students' ability to concentrate, retain information, and engage in classroom activities. By implementing later start times, Senate Bill 468 will help ensure that our students are well rested and ready to learn, ultimately leading to a more successful and productive educational experience. Moreover, this bill initiates a vital public service campaign to spotlight the critical need for sufficient sleep and the newly established school start times. By educating parents, students, and the community about the lasting benefits of this change, we can foster a smoother transition and promote a healthier future for our children. In conclusion, I urge this committee to support Senate Bill 468 and take this important step towards improving the health and academic success of our students. I want to thank you all so much for your time and your consideration.